Can I tell you a secret? Some books of the Bible are easier to get 7 days of devotions out of than others, and Nahum is not one of the easy ones. And that's in part because the vast majority of the book is simply about the utter destruction of the city of Nineveh and of the Assyrians. So it's not easy necessarily to pull out, well, what does God have for us today from these passages and these verses? But again, it strikes me as you look at today our passages from Nahum, chapter 2, verses 3 through 9, and it's about the destruction of a city. And I'm sharing this as, again, war has started with Russia attacking and invading Ukraine. And here in these ancient verses, we hear the description of the soldiers and the chariots rushing to and fro through the squares. And now today it's armored personnel carriers and tanks. And we hear about the women fleeing for their lives and captured and enslaved and led away and mourning. And our verse for the day is chapter 2, verse 8. Nineveh is like a pool whose waters run away. Halt, halt, but no one turns back. It's kind of a helpless description of Nineveh's time has run out. It's like a pool running out of water, and eventually it's all gone. And in Nahum, this is described as this is because of God's judgment on an evil, immoral, wicked city. In our time, what we are seeing is more similar to the upswing when Assyria was coming to power and invading and attacking and conquering, including conquering Israel. One of the challenges of both the Bible and history is trying to discern when is it God acting, when is it human beings acting, and how do we interpret what is the action of God and what is the action of people. And in Nahum, the destruction of Nineveh and Assyria is seen very much as God's judgment on that evil and wicked city. And once God's judgment has been uttered, there is no stopping it and no preventing it. It has serious consequences. And as we think about this verse and you think about for your life today, how does this relate to us? Part of it, again, is that unfortunately sin and evil and wickedness has consequences. Sometimes those consequences fall on innocent people through no fault of their own. And sometimes those sorts of things happen to a nation that's being judged, like Nineveh is in Nahum.